are in Arkansas, about 20 minutes away from our destination, which is Mountain Harbor Resort in Mount Ida, Arkansas, for start finish of the LOViT Lake Ouachita Vista Trail, 100K and 100 mile. I'll be running the 100K tomorrow. Right now we've got a nice, pretty sunset. So yeah, this was kind of like a spur of the moment. I've eyed this race for a few years. Just never panned out, either fitness wise or timing, or life was just not in the cards. I've maintained fitness over the last several months, coming from my last 100 end of last year. This is end of February now, 2024. Originally had some other bigger goals this year. Both those races opened on January 1st, and it was end of year bills and whatnot, presents, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. I just couldn't justify getting into two large 100-mile races that are 350 to 400 a piece on the same day, so I didn't register. They both filled up. And then I direct the shipping endurance runs in January, so I was really working on that one. And after that, which was President's Weekend of January, and there was nothing left to do, I really hit a low funk. I hadn't had anything on the radar. I was not going to do anything. I was just going to save money. My wife's like, "You need to sign up for a race." Like, I don't feel like it. Save us some money. She's like, "You're signing up for a race." So I'll just sign up. Signed up for LOViT. Figured I had enough fitness I could maintain, get a 5-6 week build. So here we are. I'm going for the 100K. It's my first official 100K. I've done the distance twice in my 200s. Actually, this one's a little short, about 59, I think. It's supposed to be nice, rugged trail, some pine forests, some good climbs, long climbs here in the Ouachita Mountain Range. While it's not the grandeur of the West or even of the Smokies out east, it definitely it's the old mountains here in the Midwest and South Midwest. So it's gonna be warm tomorrow, low 70s. I have a goal plan, but honestly, I'm not really sure. Good morning. I don't know if you can see it or not, but full moon is shining. 4:40 race morning. We're gonna head down to where that light is down there. The red light is, to get our packet. Slept in the car last night, like I do a lot of times. Good at car camping. We get my packet, drop the drop bag off, and then come back and finish the coffee and eat some breakfast before we do this thing. All right, here we are, 2:35. There's East Cove Pavilion. That's where the finish will be. Lake's out there. Can't see it great. There's the LOViT sign. Start line right there. We're gonna head back up the 100 yards to my car, finish my coffee, eat my breakfast, do the final check, and we'll be back.
We'll go in please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Go!
February 24, run LOViT 100K on the start. Let's do it. 3¼ miles in, heading up Hickory Nut Mountain, Lake Ouachita, out to the left over there. On a good time right now. Some rough forest road. Up, up, up. All right, so this is pretty cool. Got the sunrise in the lake over there. And up ahead of me, right in the crack up there, got the moon going to bed. Full moon last night. Lake Ouachita, Hickory Nut Mountain, first aid station. Gorgeous. 2:35. Thanks for being out here.
Have a great run.
Thank you. Five-mile check-in. We're past the first aid station, Hickory Nut Mountain. We are on the first bit of single track, pine forest, heading back to the sunrise. Look how gorgeous that is. So far it's been very pretty. Sun's coming up over there. So far doing good. Trying to keep it controlled up that big hill to start. It was Jeep forest road. Most of it was runnable, but tried to maintain a power hike at times just to conserve the legs. Just look at that. Would you look at it? Look at it with me. Will you look at it? 10-mile check-in. Love it, 100K. Doing good so far. Good mix of climbing, descending, forest road, gravel road, and now some single track. Hiking when I need to, running when I can. Keep going. Sun's right there. Glorious. Touch of humidity, not too bad. A little chill in the bottoms. But overall, it's gonna be hot today. Trying to regulate now, so I'm good later. A bit of a climb here. Got about 1.5 miles to the next aid station. Might go through that one, because because then it'll be 3.5. I might get the water and everything there. Full view. Because then it's the longest stretch of 7.5 between. But little climb. Now. A little over 15.5 into the race. Just left Bear Creek aid station. Heading up to the ridge line, which will be the longest distance between aid stations, 7.5. Got good views of the lake up here, but right now, just saving the legs, doing a little run, power hike mix. I just got a controlled burn here the last few weeks. Something about controlled burns just makes everything calming. Creates that new growth that our woods need. So we're getting there. Feeling good. Had a pretty nice little ankle roll at mile 13.5. But we're working through it. Feeling better now. Just keep on one foot in front of the other. I will see you later. Mile 20 and a half really. LOViT 100K. Still in that long section along Brady Mountain. On the out. Still feeling pretty good. It's just a lot of roller right here. Feels like it's a constant climb. But it's fine. A lot of runnable. And it rolls, but little tightness, but not too bad. Nothing to be concerned about. Just typical fatigue. Slowly working our way to Brady Mountain aid station here, around 2.5 miles away. So, gonna keep it going. Beautiful course. Starting to warm up a little bit, but just got to keep regulating. Just a little salt tab just to stay on top of that. Nice job. This is why I run trails. Gorgeous pine forest, pine floor, rocky, but then they burn. Whew. I mean, if we weren't racing, it'd be a nice little spot to take a break. Shady rock, couple benches, views of lakes and hills, aka the Ouachita Mountains. We're getting there. Just shy of 25 miles. Still on the out. We are about 5 miles away from the turnaround. So starting to see more 100 miles on their way in after about 17 hours for them right now. So we're moving. Right now I'm at 24 and a half in 4 hours 20 minutes. So I think I'm ahead of pace, or my projected pace, but you know, long day, lots of things can happen. One foot in front of the other. Here we are, now 31, 50K in, on our way back. Every step's closer to the finish now. Starting to get warm. Just before noon, we're at 5 hours 42 minutes. So not too bad. Still a gorgeous trail. Legs are starting to feel the hills. A lot of these descents are rocky and technical, which makes for really having to pay attention. But we're doing it. Enjoying the day. Keep working forward. Well, we got a boat seat here, an old boat seat. Not so sure the fishing's very good here. Just a hunch. 34. Climbing. Heading to Brady Mountain aid station. Gonna make sure to soap the hat there. It is definitely starting to get hot. And wear on you a little bit on these climbs. At least there's a little bit of breeze though. So, the bright side. Boy, mile 40 on the roughest section of the trail right now. That long section between aid stations, it's nothing but a bunch of roller coaster rollers that are rough. But I guess if you're gonna suffer, you gotta find the places that are worth suffering in. And I mean, if you want to take a break, this would not be a bad spot at all. But you know what? Got about 19 miles to go, so we're gonna keep on moseying down the trail. As much as I'd like to stay here and rest for a while, I'm gonna try to get to the end. Legs are feeling it. These rollers are not helping, because once you start running, it's technical. But once you start running, you get down, runs flat a little bit, and then try back up. And it's not like there's a lot of big stuff. It's just like up and down.
you know, roller coasters. But I can't beat it. It is hot though. It is hot. We weren't acclimated for this. We're doing it though. Finish is that way. Always, but that way.
Great. Okay.
Staying cool?
Oh, yeah, it's nice on the creek bed.
Right? Oh, fuck. Well, 48. Been in a low funk for a little while. It's just warm. Legs are giving up. I think I got behind on calories, but last aid station about a mile ago, took in 2 cups of Coke, a couple ham and pineapple sliders, which were good. So we're working our way there, just a little slower, but still moving. I said 48 miles, about 11 to go. All right. Mile 51, heading up to Hickory Nut Mountain, which will be the last aid station before the 4-mile descent to the finish. About 14 minutes behind my pace chart, but I stupidly didn't factor in enough for stops. So honestly, can't say it's that bad. Definitely hit an incredibly low patch around mile 45, 44 through 46 or so. I think I was calorie deficient, felt a little dizzy, but had a 2-mile gravel road, which allowed me to spur on a little bit more. Saw some people, which has helped. 100 milers. We've been out here even longer. Going on 24 hours right now. And just past the last aid station at what, 51? Just a little bit ago. Usually pumping up bells, people, music. I just went through. I just want to get done. But the real thing is we're in a great area, and you can't deny how much a great area helps keep you going. So I'm going to check back with you before I get up to the top, talk to you about my why of this race. Everything needs a why when you go this far. There's a tree stand. That's not far enough from this trail. No, I went up the hill. Idiots. All right, I'll talk to you in 2 miles. Let's get this. Here we are, the final ascent. A little bit of gravel. There's the lake out there again. That's one of the best views because just up on that bend up there is Hickory Nut Mountain summit, 0.75. And then it's all downhill, minus a little bump or two in the final half mile to the finish. This has been tough, but without a why, or with a why, you can get through tough shit. 2.5 months ago, which is why I started crying after the last aid station, my father-in-law passed away pretty unexpectedly. He had health problems, but he was still too young. See my mother-in-law, and I think of myself and my wife, me being there for her. I see my wife and her sisters, and I think of my daughters, me being there for them. When I run, it clears me, allows me to be present. So that being said, when my wife says when I'm in a funk, go sign up for a race, that's me telling her I need to be present. I trained short, 5-6 weeks for this, so undertrained, but I'm finishing for him, for my family, for my dad, who next race he'll be with. So yeah, that's my why. Without it, why am I here? It'd be a whole lot harder if you didn't have something to push it along. So find your why, go do something hard. And when it gets hard, think of that why. It'll get you through. 53.5 miles. 10:45, 10 off pace. I'm good. Downhill after this, a little bit up here. I'm gonna try to book it. See what I can do. Here we go. PR of the day. all this side. Love it 100K. My knees hurt. There's my car. There's the finish. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. On the Golden Pond right there.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
235.
Hey everybody, if you made it to this point of the video, thank you. Just trying to throw a few videos out there of races that I hadn't seen any for, and LOViT was one of them. LOViT 100K, again, was one of those races that I had looked at for a while, just never panned out. This year I was able to. A couple things about the race. First and foremost, right there at Hot Springs National Park, along the Ouachita Mountains in Arkansas. It's definitely worth a visit. February Midwest race if you're looking for something like that. The 100 mile starts on 5 p.m. on Friday. It's definitely something maybe I'll do in the future if the calendar works out. Go back and get the extra 40 miles and knock out the 100 down there and get the buckle. Otherwise, huge shout out to the race director. It was his last year this year. He's going to step aside. It's going to be taken over in good hands by a volunteer. Additionally, the volunteers were absolutely amazing. Thanking you for being out there running. They're the ones out there doing 24, 30 plus hours of volunteering. So incredible job to all the volunteers. Extremely helpful. Couldn't say enough for them out there. It was amazing. The cool thing about the out and back is you get to see a lot of the 100 milers. So I got to see some friends that I have run races with before, but they were point to point, so I didn't get to see them, but I got to run with Joe Cox for a few miles, which was awesome. I got to run with Ben Bridgman, who's a guy that has run my race, the Shippy, a few times. So I got to see him and run with him a little bit. Got to see a couple other amazing people. Carl Meltzer on his way back to get his win, 22 consecutive straight years with a 100-mile win. That's incredible. Ashley Nordell was out there. First time I finally got to meet her. We followed each other on Strava, but finally got to meet. And then a bunch of other St. Louis folks that were down there either pacing or running their first 100 or one of the other races too. So I highly recommend it. Here's the swag for the 100K. It's a really hefty medal there. So the buckle is really similar, kind of like this, but with blue imprint, a little bit bigger than this. And obviously it's a buckle, but I recommend it. So LOViT 100K, end of February, Ida or along Ouachita Mountains in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Thank you. And again, always PR the day.
Why is the flamingo always stand on one leg? Because if he didn't stand on a leg, he'd fall over.